was a letter from Emmeline Safroniuk, detailing some of the exploits of her husband and asking, is there a way for him to be recognized? And it's pretty out of the ordinary, so it's one of the main reasons why we pushed this award to get it done this year, because it's so relevant to what happened in his life in the last year. You are definitely going to have to help me. I wrote a blog about this one, so we'll see how this goes. I was born deaf. God has been good to me. These are not two statements you usually hear together. For most able-bodied people, the people in this room, especially athletes gifted with athletic talent, emotions range from sympathy to pity when we think of those who are physically or mentally disabled. Very rarely do we think of someone with a physical and/or mental impairment as being happy with life and content to be exactly what they are. Dwight Safroniuk was born in 1969, the older of 2 children, and he was born without his hearing. He's described himself as not very sociable, because often people would misunderstand him, or he them, so he kept himself busy with sports. He was a YBC bowler as a youth, and always loved to bowl, participating in various tournaments throughout his teens and early 20s. He joined Special Olympics in 1999, and through Abilities Council Partners for Employment, has had a job as an SMT senior assembler for almost 12 years at SAD Systems. Anyone who's ever seen a Special Olympics program in action, like me, can vouch for his description of the joy Special Olympics has brought his life. And I quote, "When I joined Special Olympics, I was happy because the coaches and other athletes there were very loving people and don't really care what kind of disability I had. They were friendly and encouraging and very understanding and supportive. They became my family." You could say that leaders are born and not made, but Dwight's path to becoming truly inspiring really took shape in 2009. That year, at the Special Olympics Provincials, he won gold medals for the singles and doubles event, and this qualified him for the Special Olympics Nationals, which were held in London, Ontario, the following year. There, he won the silver, thanks to the handicap. Based on scratch scores, he would have won gold, and while most bowlers would complain that they lost because of handicap, Dwight was satisfied with second, because the most important part of the competition is that you try your best and have fun. You can take it.
This performance then qualified Dwight to be part of the bowling team representing Canada at the Special Olympics World Summer Games in 2011, held in Athens, Greece. Given a training program from Special Olympics, Dwight joined regular able-bodied leagues to bowl with and against some of the best bowlers in Saskatchewan, like former Team Canada member Chris Clerk. Not sure he fit in, he was always nervous in front of these bowlers, but performed well and was captain of his team. In 2010, he challenged himself even further by competing in the prestigious Dick Wolf tournament in Calgary. It's one thing to bowl in a league against regular bowlers, and it's quite another to go and bowl in a scratch event that attracts the likes of world champion Michael Schmidt, in a roster full of current and former Team Canada members like Michael Schmidt, Felicia Wong, Jack Way, Corey Clayton, and many other of the top talent. Dwight, the bowler from Special Olympics, finished 8th. I just got a goosebump. Lots of able-bodied bowlers without any stigmas or confidence issues or disabilities were below him on the scoreboard that day. Continuing the upward trend, he finished 3rd in the B division of the Edmonton Open and bowled a 300 game later that year in league play. When the moment finally arrived, Dwight traveled to Greece with his wife, mother and father, who was 79 and battling Parkinson's disease at the time, to compete in the Special Olympics World Summer Games. The first day was qualifying for divisions, and Dwight was one of the only 2 bowlers to bowl over 600. The next day in doubles competition, Dwight was paired with Quebec bowler, how do you say that? Sorry. V-I-A.
Eva.
Oh, no. The guitar.
Okay. And together they won the gold medal facing tough competition from the USA and Finland. Naming those countries and scoring conditions is easy to forget that we're talking about athletes bowling with disabilities for the love of the game. The next day, in front of his wife, mother, and ailing father, Dwight, the older brother, born deaf, proudly wearing the maple leaf representing Canada, won an Olympic gold medal in the singles competition. Could there be a better feeling in the world? Making it extra special, the medal was awarded by Timothy Shriver, the son of Special Olympics International founder, Eunice Kennedy. Sorry, I always say names wrong. You'd think that after accomplishing all this, Dwight would be tired. Instead, he's been asked to compete at Canada's National Deaf Games in Edmonton later this year, and still bowls in both his regular and Special Olympics leagues to prepare for that event. From a personal standpoint, I can't express the admiration I feel for Dwight after hearing his story. I only hope I've done it justice in this blog. It makes my own self-doubt pale in comparison to the challenges he has faced in climbing to the pinnacle of bowling success. He's an inspiration to me and someone that every bowler can look up to, able-bodied and disabled, for challenging himself to be the best person he can for the sake of the sport he loves. If ever there was a leader in bowling, Saskatoon has one in Dwight, and Canada has one in Dwight. I'll leave you with the parting words from his last email to me to sum up the kind of man he is beyond the lanes. Okay. God has been good to me, and now learning that I have been selected to receive an award just made me even more grateful. I would like to represent the special needs people, that we are also a part of society, and that we can overcome our fears and confidence issues, and that our efforts and hard work are not unseen but celebrated.